Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Playeasy Warmup, the podcast where we dive into the stories, people, and places driving the sporting event and tourism industry forward. I'm your host, Kerri Shields. Today, we're diving into the world of hockey tournaments with someone who has been shaping the game for nearly 2 decades. I'm joined by James, the director and owner of Weekend Hockey Tournaments, which has been creating a five-star tournament experience since 2006. What started in Ontario has grown into more than 85 events each year across the US and Canada. And the pace isn't slowing down, with 10 to 15 new tournaments added annually. Weekend hockey serves youth, men, and women of all skill levels with a focus on player development, fair competition, and a true community feel. The tournaments are as much about camaraderie and memories as they are about hockey. And the passion and professionalism James and his team bring is what keeps players and teams coming back. As they approach their 20th anniversary year, James has a lot to celebrate. New destinations, the first ever girls tournament, and continued growth across North America. We'll get into all of that and more in today's conversation. I hope you enjoy. Nothing brings people together like sports, and no place brings people together like the beach. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. There, you'll find first-class facilities and an experienced planning team that will make sure your sporting or esports event goes off without a hitch. And when the games end, the real play begins. With 60 miles of endless activities and entertainment, it's a guaranteed win for all ages. That's why you can't beat the beach. Start planning at myrtlebeachsports.com. James, welcome to the Playeasy Warmup Podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, I'm excited. You are not only just our first Canada organization, but also our first hockey organization. So very excited to have this conversation with you. Could you share a bit of your story? How did you first get into hockey and what inspired you to start Weekend Hockey?
Well, like any other Canadian kid, they want to play hockey when they're young. And I did that and ended up coaching and just loved the sport. And when I went to school, I went to York University. I took economics. I took physical education. Um, but I wanted to be involved in hockey. I didn't know what, but something to do with hockey. And I took the big risk when I was about 30, 39 years, oh, probably about 35 years old, and decided I wanted to leave my job that I was getting paid very well at, but I didn't like it. And decided I'm going to start this hockey company. And yeah, here we are today. It was very rough at the start, but this is a passion. That's something I've always wanted to do. And to have it where it is right now is just, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I grew up in the Philly suburbs, so hockey wasn't as big where I'm from, but I did go to Boston College where our team won two national championships when I was there. So I was able to see just one, how great the game is, but two, how big it is up in the north. So this year marks almost 20 years of weekend hockey. Looking back, what's been the biggest change in your organization to where you are today?
Oh, wow. Well, I started by myself and I was a one-man show for, I don't know, 3, 4 years. So doing everything. I mean, we only had about 6 tournaments, and then we started growing gradually. And the biggest difference, I guess, from 19 years ago to today is really like we have 6 full-time staff. We have 40 part-time staff. Um, we've just grown that we're always looking for people that want to work with us, whether it's part-time or full-time.
That's awesome. I'm sure it's helpful to have a bigger team with the type of events that you guys are running. And so I did mention you are our first hockey group. So could you give us an idea for what makes weekend hockey stand apart from other events and organizations out there?
What separates us? So all tournament companies offer awards. You know, the champs get their medals, the finalists get their medals. I'm sure most of the other companies offer player of the game awards. I guess the biggest difference for us is, you know, we do all that. We do the banners for the champs. Um, our Player of the Game awards. We offer Player of the Game awards for both teams every game, but well, then we also offer an MVP of each team in the tournament. So that's in addition to the Player of the Game awards. We offer when they show up, we'll have like a gift bag through corporate sponsors, whether it's Prime energy drink or it's pure hockey, free skate sharpening. So everybody that shows up will get extra stuff. But I think the biggest thing is we have social, what do they call them? Collaborators or like, the Instagram people, they post and they do all this video stuff. Well, I forget what you call them. Influencers?
Influencers?
Influencers.
Yeah.
So we have like several influencers that travel with us across North America. And it's just like an added value. They show up, they interview the players, they interview the teams, they make it so much
Oh,
fun.
cool.
And the kids love it, the teams love it, the coaches love it, the parents love it. Like they all want to get pictures with, whoever the person is. And that's been a big hit. And we do that for a lot of our tournaments as like as an add-on, make the tournament experience that much better.
So you're saying that you bring an influencer in the hockey world to each of the events that you're running in order to enhance that experience?
Not every single event yet, but I would
Okay.
say 40% of our events, we have some type of influencer, and it's promoted on our website for that tournament and for that particular tournament. And the kids love it. It's easy, that person's there all weekend. And yeah, not all the tournaments yet.
That's
That is the goal,
yeah.
but a lot of them. Well, actually, you know what? Most of them are in the US, but we do have some in Canada too.
That's awesome. And you guys have also built a reputation for offering a true five-star tournament experience. Can you walk us through what your events look like over the course of youth, girls, boys, and adult leagues as well?
Well, okay, so youth boys, I mean, like all the stuff that I mentioned about the awards, the influencers, we have full-time staff at every single rink. So, for example, let's say I'll use Veterans Day on the beach, Fort Lauderdale, for an example. We have 80 teams that attend every year, and we're using multiple facilities. So we're using, 4 or 5 different facilities. We have a staff person from weekend hockey at every single one of these rinks. So when the team shows up, they're not just greeted by the referee or timekeeper. There's a staff member there, telling them where to go, where to sign up, check in. So we do offer that so that it's very well organized. The schedules are always out 2 to 3 weeks prior to the tournament. Whereas I've heard, other tournaments, sometimes it's a week before the tournament. We like to be ahead of the game on that stuff. International flavor. Tons of Canadian teams go to the US. International teams go to the tournaments. So we offer a wide variety of teams from all over so that teams get to play teams that they never generally see. They're not always playing the same teams from the same state, the same league. We offer quite a variety of choice for that. So I think that adds a lot to the five-star experience.
I think something else that really stood out for your organization to me was that player development and exposure is at the heart of what you guys do. How do you design your tournaments for people to walk away feeling like they've really enhanced that player development?
Well, I mean, the youngest from 10U, the oldest to 18U, I mean, we offer all levels. We offer the highest level, which is AAA, right down to the lowest level, which is B hockey. We find a lot of the teams that attend our tournaments, um, they're already playing a lot of hockey in their leagues, etc. But they come to the tournament, they get that tournament experience. They're having so much fun, and I guess they're improving by adding extra games over a short period of, over a weekend. They're playing up to 6, 7 games. So not your normal one game a day or one game a weekend. They're getting, up to 6, 7 games. So they're getting a lot more hockey. The older kids, we have scouts depending on the location, but like 18U double A, we'll get scouts from colleges at those games. And once they find out what teams are attending, if it's certain teams that they're certain areas they're coming from, they're interested in seeing the talent that's out there.
That's great. And how about for the adult side of things? Is that something also outside of Ontario as well?
The adult tournaments, yeah, we do some in Ontario. And then for the US, we're in Clearwater Beach, Atlantic City, Nashville, and Buffalo, New York. So
Wow.
the adult side of it is entirely different than the youth side of it. Um, I mean, there's, guys that are 21 and up. Obviously, after the game, they get complimentary beers. We don't offer that for the kids. So there's a lot of different things with the adults, but same idea. They get a group of friends together, buddies, women's teams, men's teams, and they want to go to a trip together and share it with all their friends at a different location. And very popular.
That's awesome. And you guys have expanded quickly, adding close to 10 to 15 events per year over the past few years. So you're going to destinations like Buffalo, Salt Lake City, Fort Lauderdale. What makes a facility or a city ideal fit for a weekend hockey event?
The primary things are when they show up to the tournament, they play in the tournament, they play a lot of teams. All that stuff is great. But in addition to that, if they can go see an NHL game, or they can see a college hockey game, or they can see an NFL football game, if there's some kind of other event going on, we want that city to be able to offer those extras. Um, some of the locations don't have it. NHL teams, for example, we're going to be in Lake Tahoe next year.
Oh,
They
awesome.
don't have any NHL teams, but they do have an ECHL team. So that's a feature. That's an added attraction, and we always want to give the teams something else they can do in addition to the tournament. And that's really what we try to focus on.
Yeah, and we touched on this a bit earlier before the call, but as you're moving in and growing into the US, the importance of these partnerships with destinations, how has that helped amplify your growth as an organization?
Well, the marketing side of it from the local sports commission, promoting our event throughout the local and surrounding areas, that's been great. Um, Financial incentives, based on the number of teams from out of state that need hotel rooms. It's great for economic development for that city. Sports tourism, as I'm sure you're aware of, is it's a huge, huge growing business. And if we can be a part of that and help that city generate more revenue and our teams are happy, it's just a win-win for everybody.
And how, when you're moving into these new cities outside of the help of the partnerships with destinations, how do you market your events to attract more registrants and spectators?
Well, the biggest advertising is word of mouth. Once a team attends your tournament, it can hurt you or it can help you. If you're running a terrible event, bad press, they're going to tell everybody, don't go to this tournament. They suck. On the other hand, if it's a great tournament, they're going to tell everybody about it. And we get a lot of returning teams that will rotate between different cities. So I know we're doing something right. But we're always advertising. We advertise extensively on both sides of the border, both in Canada, throughout the US. Um, so nice professional ads, trying to attract new teams. USA Hockey is obviously our biggest advertiser with their magazine. But that's really it. That's our advertising.
And you mentioned that you have invested in creating a website. You guys are consistently a top organization on our Playeasy platform. Why was it important to invest in that marketing?
Well, I've seen a lot of websites from other tournament companies, whether it's hockey, baseball, football, whatever the sport. But we wanted to be different. We want to separate ourselves from everybody else. So we decided to do a custom website. It definitely cost us a lot more than, using for example, a sports engine website. but we figured that would come back and return down the road with easy to manage site, lots of good information, colors, you know, and that's kind of why we do it. Just want to differentiate from other companies.
Yeah. Well, it's clear you're doing a great job, and it's been worth the investment. And so, my background comes from the basketball end of things, and growing up, I participated in AAU, and some of my favorite events were when I was traveling across the country to some of our national events where I was able to compete against girls from other states, and I think that's a big part of your model. Why do you think that is such a valuable part of the weekend hockey model?
Well, teams like when they enter a tournament, they don't want to play the same teams that they see all the time. It's the same team. They play them in the league 5 times a year, and now they're going to play them in a tournament. If you bring a team from out of state, for example, our Florida tournament, we've got teams from Alaska flying down to Florida. And for a team in Florida to play a team from Alaska, it's amazing, and vice versa. Same as like Vegas, we'll get Canadian teams from Western Canada that'll come down and
Oh,
play, California teams, Vegas teams, Utah teams, and it's the same thing. The Canadian teams have never played these teams. The American teams have never played the Canadian teams. It just adds more sizzle to the tournament, more excitement, and I know the players, the teams, the coaches, the parents, they love it.
yeah. That's great. And you guys are also expanding your opportunity for girls' tournaments. Why was this an important milestone for you? And how do you see that side of your business growing?
We started the last year. We partnered up with a Girls Hockey Association of Peterborough, Ontario, and
Okay.
partnered up with them. They wanted us to help them run their tournament. And so we said, for sure, we'll get that. We'll get that going for you. And we have female staff with us, full-time staff, and one of the girls that works with us, Lindsay, was very interested in taking this on. And we kind of thought it was important that we'd have a female dealing with females on the tournament side.
Yep.
So we decided let's go for it. Let's see if we can do what we're doing with the boys as the same with the girls. And I mean, our tournament in Peterborough sold out in a few
Wow.
months, and I could see us definitely growing the girls side of it. Hopefully, maybe it's as big as the boys. I don't know, but we'll take it one day at a time. And I could see a lot of growth in the girls side of it because girls hockey is growing quite a lot, especially with the pro league that just the PWHL, Professional Women's
Yep.
Hockey League. A lot of girls are getting more involved, and they have someone to look up to, thus the tournaments, and great opportunity.
Yeah. I've mentioned I played basketball at Boston College, but my two roommates were uh, hockey players, and th- the toughness that comes from the female hockey players is unlike anything. And so it's interesting when your expansion with the boys side of things, it's a lot of NHL cities or even some new NHL cities like Salt Lake City. Is that something that you're looking to on the girls' side to kind of mimic the way that your growth within those professional women's teams as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Same idea. In addition to the tournament itself, another added feature. If it's a PWHL team, if it's an NHL team, if it's a college team, could be women's, men's college hockey, like whatever, just something so the girls have something else to look forward to that weekend to make their weekend that much more memorable.
So, James, could you speak to how Playeasy has helped with your expansion?
Play Easy has been instrumental in getting new cities reaching out to us that we never thought was possible. We thought attending sports commission conferences, which are great to meet people in person and such, but um, last season, Playeasy sent out an RFP to several U.S. destinations, and I was so blown away on the response. It took me a week to answer all the emails or all the messages of interest in us bringing a tournament to their city. So yeah, Playeasy's platform has been incredible.
Uh, well, nothing makes us happier than to hear that. So thank you. And do you have an example of a partnership? I know you just announced a ton of new events for the 2025-2026 seasons, but is there an existing partnership that you have that you could share some of the success behind that partnership with the city?
I'd say the Florida sports commissions have been the most aggressive, and Broward County, part of Fort Lauderdale, Clearwater, St. Pete's, Sarasota, Palm Beach, all those locations, they've been fantastic, absolutely amazing to work with. And with Salt Lake City's a brand new tournament, they reached out to us, very welcoming and excited about a brand new tournament for us in Salt Lake.
So
And I'd say Florida's been the most aggressive, but New York, Buffalo's been good. They've been very happy to have us go there. I mean, as we grow, we're going to be in Lake Tahoe. We're going to be in Minnesota. We're going to be in Denver, somewhere in Colorado. I feel any of the other sports commissions will be very happy that we're in their city, and I'm sure we could work well together.
that's great. And just for if a destination was interested in hosting one of your events, what are the bare minimum requirements that you would need to host an event in their city?
Bare minimum, obviously, we've got to have ice sheets. We need at least minimum 3 sheets of ice to start. Doesn't have to be under one roof. It could be, it's better if it's under one roof. It's easier to manage. But if we had a double pad and a single, or if we had 3 single pads, we need at least 3 sheets of ice. Just anytime we go to a new location, um, we're generally bringing a minimum of 30 teams in the first year. And within a few years, we're going to be like up to 80 teams like Fort Lauderdale is. So they got to have a lot of ice sheets, a minimum of 3 sheets anyway, hopefully 4 or 5. So there's growth and they can handle the growth. Hotels within a half an hour of the facilities, but the closer the better. If it's 10 minutes, 15, 20, that's fantastic. We're always looking for hotels near the facilities. And that's the two main things. Without ice, we can't run a tournament.
And I mean, that is very important. And I should also ask, do you run any outdoor hockey events?
We don't. As of now, we don't. We have been approached by it. It's just we have to be 100% sure that if we're going to do that, that it's not going to be a meltdown, a warm day, and then the ice is like toast. Um, we would look at it, but we just got to be sure it's the right location, that we're not going to risk Mother Nature, canceling the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, I have attended a few of the hockey games at some of the baseball stadiums, one in Fenway. I think BC played Notre Dame, and I was in all of the logistics that went into having that outdoor event. It's usually in the winter, dead of winter in Boston. You can usually um, have the right weather for the outside, but one of the cooler hockey experiences that I've been to. Um, and so you've spoken a bit about just the event experience. So, what is the importance of partnership within not just a city, but the local attractions and restaurants to enhancing that event experience?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, for example, in Nashville, we're partners with Martin's Barbecue, which is a big barbecue chain in the state of Tennessee. But in Nashville, a great restaurant like that offers great barbecue, convenient for all the teams that they can attend, close to the arenas. So another added value of having restaurants that are with you, it's just another layer of added value to the tournament. The tournament itself, go see an event, go see an NHL game, have a great restaurant that's recommended by the tournament. It's just like a one-stop shop. They don't have to worry about really anything. They show up and it's all there for them.
That's awesome. And there's nothing better than being able to go to some good restaurants with your teammates in between games. Really brings me back. But so, as you're entering your 20th year, what are you most excited for your organization?
Oh boy, there's a lot of things to be excited about. Well, next year is a special year, as you say, 20th year. There will be definitely some special surprises, lots of extra attractions. We haven't figured that out yet, but it's incredible that we are hitting our 20th year. It's just exciting for the fact that so many people still want to play hockey. They want to get away. And we seem to be doing something right. We've been around this long. And the fact that we've been around this long is just, it's amazing. I mean, we started off with 5 tournaments. Um, and now we're at, 85 events, still growing every year. It's super exciting. Anytime you have a new location, it's super exciting. We've never been there. It's just another added destination for many teams to try out because we find a lot of the teams that are with us stick with us, and they, if they've been to Vegas, they want to try Florida with us. If they've been there, they want to go to Madison, Wisconsin. They just want to go with us because they know what to expect, and that it's just super exciting to see so many teams happy with what we do and what we provide for them.
And just some of the cities that you mentioned, I'm excited for you guys. I know Buffalo, Salt Lake City, Fort Lauderdale, all great teams that we work with, and so I'm just excited to see the expansion and the success that you guys are going to have in your 20th year. And so, as someone who has seen hockey and sports tourism evolve over the last 20 years, what trends are you watching most closely right now?
What trends? Boy, that's a tough one. I mean,
Or maybe what has evolved most over the course of these 20 years? It could even be just the fact that you've been introduced to sports tourism and the opportunities that you have with growth.
like I was saying earlier, Ontario, and I'm sure the other provinces in Canada, their sports commissions, there's no incentives for the tournament operator to come to that particular city. In the U.S. cities are just so interested in bringing a new event to their city, which generates, again, economic impact. The hotels, the restaurants, people are spending money in their community. Um, there's just so much opportunity on the U.S. side because of that. They take sports tourism to a whole different level, and hopefully Canada gets there the same. And it just adds another level of excitement when you have a local sports commission behind you to make things better for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than the partnership. We hosted our first conference this summer, hosting another one in 2026. And just the level of partnership in making that event a success, it couldn't have been. They feel like an extension of your team, and just made the whole experience better for everyone. So I hope so too. So to end us out, what has been the biggest lesson you've learned in growing your organization?
Honestly, the biggest lesson is when you can make somebody else happier or you can influence somebody else to make them better, whether it's you know, they're playing in a hockey tournament, it's a memory that they may never forget. And if they're a 10U kid and they've been into our tournament and they remember that tournament when they're 16 or 18 or 20, if we're part of some type of success to that player, whether it's improving, whether it's we were a small part of that player's success in going to a particular school, or I don't know, like just to make people happy. Everybody's got their jobs. The parents have their, Monday to Friday jobs. They're hectic, they're busy. But when they get away to a tournament with their kids, there's nothing better as a family that they can spend time in a great destination enjoying that weekend. And for us to see happy faces show up to the rink every single day, there's nothing better. Like just to be a part of that, it's an amazing feeling.
That's such a Great way to end, and I agree. It's clear to see your passion for really making a difference with these events you're running. And I know just from playing, some of my favorite childhood memories is traveling for tournaments and playing sports, and having that event experience. So, yeah, it's just been a pleasure getting to know you. So, if anyone wanted to get in contact with you or weekend hockey, what would be the best way of doing so?
Send us an email to info@weekendhockey.com. And that's the easiest and best way to do it because there's several staff that'll see that email. And then one of us for sure will get back to that sports commission or whoever's interested in talking to us. And that's the first step. And then we can talk further, whether it's phone call or Zoom call or any other way.
Awesome. Well, James, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Until next time, everyone. See you later. Bye.